students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Okay? And you all are doing your homework regularly. So, today we are going to start an interesting topic, an interesting chapter of biological science. Okay? So, chapter is useful and harmful microbes, out of which our today's topic is Lactobacilli. Okay, Lactobacilli. So we are going to start this topic. Firstly, tell me what is meant by microbes. What is meant by microbes? Have you observed curd under microscope? Have you seen curd under microscope? What do you see when you observe curd under microscope? Okay. So firstly, remember that microorganisms, some are useful and some are harmful. As the name suggests, useful and harmful microbes or microorganisms. Okay. So some microorganisms are useful, are beneficial for man, while some organisms are harmful for man. Okay. So out of which we are going to start useful microorganisms. Can you tell me some examples of useful microorganisms? Anyone? Useful microorganisms. Okay. Useful microorganisms. As the name suggests, useful microorganisms means these microorganisms are useful for human being. Okay. And some examples of microorganisms include Lactobacilli. First is Lactobacilli. Okay. Then useful microorganisms. Yeast is also an useful microbe. Okay. Then Rhizobium. These are the some examples of useful microorganisms. Okay. So there is one activity in your textbook in which there is written that prepare a smear of fresh buttermilk, take on a glass slide, then add on it methylene blue. Then means there is one activity in your textbook. त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी मध्ये काय सांगितलेलं आहे की काय करा, एक ड्रॉप घ्या फ्रेश बटर मिल्कचा ऑन अ ग्लास स्लाइड. सपोज दिस इज अ ग्लास स्लाइड and we take a small drop of buttermilk on it. Then this drop आपण काय करू, यामध्ये काय करू, यावर आपण त्याला स्टेन करू with methylene blue. Stain it with methylene blue. Methylene blue ni याला आपण stain करू. Then prepare a smear and then observe it under 10x objective of compound microscope, and then first you have to observe it under 10x objective of compound microscope. Then observe under 6x objective of compound microscope. What do you see? तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये काय दिसते? You have seen that some blue rod-shaped bacteria, okay, which are moving. Okay, so that blue color rod-shaped bacteria are nothing but Lactobacilli. So what we have seen in today's period, okay, we have seen that microorganisms, there are different types of microorganisms which are surrounding us. Okay, so mainly there are two types of microorganisms: useful microorganisms and harmful microorganisms. Okay, firstly we have to focus on useful microorganisms. Useful microorganisms, as the name suggests, they are useful for human being. Okay, some microorganisms helps human for farming or agriculture purpose, while some help in cooking microorganisms are beneficial for human. That's why they come into the category of useful microorganism. Okay, Lactobacillus, yeast, rhizobium are some examples of useful microorganisms. Then there is one activity given in your book. In that activity, you have to prepare a glass. You have to take, firstly you have to take glass slide, then take a small drop of fresh buttermilk, then stain that drop of buttermilk with methylene blue, then put a cover slip on it and observe first under 10x type of compound microscope, then 60x objective of compound microscope. Okay, up to this understood? Okay, so इथपर्यंत आपण काय काय बघितलं? Our today's interesting topic is useful and harmful microorganisms. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की आपल्या सराउंडिंगला जे काही ॲटमॉस्फिअर आहे त्यामध्ये खूप डिफरंट टाइप्सचे मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम्स काय असतात, प्रेझेंट असतात. बट वी कॅनॉट सी देम विथ अवर नेकेड आयज. पण आपण उघड्या डोळ्यांनी त्या मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम्सला बघू शकत नाही. आणि आपल्या चॅप्टरचंच नाव आहे की युजफुल अँड हार्मफुल मायक्रोब्स. म्हणजे त्यामधले काही मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम्स हे ह्युमन बीइंगसाठी बेनिफिशियल असतात, त्यामुळे मग ते युजफुल मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम्स या प्रकारामध्ये मोडतात. while some microorganisms are harmful for human beings. Okay, so they come into the category of harmful microorganisms. Useful microorganisms examples include Lactobacillus, yeast, rhizobium. Okay, these three examples are given in your textbook of useful microorganisms. Then there is one activity in which you have to take one glass slide, then put a drop of fresh buttermilk on it, then stain that drop with methylene blue, then put a cover slip on it and observe the slide firstly under 10x objective of a compound microscope, then 60x. Okay. What do you see? You will see bluish color rod shaped bacteria moving. Okay, and that bacteria nothing but Lactobacillus. Means Lactobacilli are blue color, rod shaped, they are minute, so that's why we cannot see them with our naked eyes. For observing Lactobacilli we have to use compound microscope. So they are minute, they are rectangular in shape. They are minute, they are rectangular in shape. Okay, blue color, rod shape, rectangular. Then what is the function of Lactobacillus? Lactobacillus is the bacteria which convert lactose sugar, which is present in where is lactose sugar present? Lactose sugar कशामध्ये असते? Lactose sugar is present in milk. Okay, so Lactobacillus चे फंक्शन काय आहे? की हा काय करते? जी मिल्क मध्ये लॅक्टोज शुगर प्रेझेंट असते, तर त्या लॅक्टोज शुगर जी प्रेझेंट असते मिल्क मध्ये त्याला ती कन्वर्ट करते. लॅक्टोज शुगर, Lactobacillus कन्वर्ट लॅक्टोज शुगर कशामध्ये कन्वर्ट करते? इनटू लॅक्टिक ऍसिड. Into lactic acid. So Lactobacillus, this bacteria convert lactose OSC. This is the carbohydrate. Okay. So Lactobacillus convert lactose sugar, which is present in milk, into lactic acid. And this process is known as fermentation. And because of which pH of milk decreases. This process is known as fermentation. Because of which pH of milk decreases and coagulation of milk takes place. Okay, and that's why milk proteins get separated from other constituent of milk. Okay, so here is the function of Lactobacillus, that it converts lactose sugar, which is present in milk, into lactic acid. This process is known as fermentation. As a result of this, pH of milk decreases and coagulation of milk proteins takes place, and that's why milk proteins get separated from other constituent of milk. Okay, and that's why milk is converted into yogurt. In this way, milk is converted into yogurt. And yogurt, we know that yogurt is a specific sour in taste. Okay, and low pH kills harmful microorganisms which are present in milk. So this is all about lactobacilli. What we have seen in today's period, we have seen that there are many different types of microorganisms which are surrounding us. Out of these, some microorganisms are beneficial and some are harmful. Okay, then we have seen some examples of useful microorganisms, that is lactobacillus, rhizobium, yeast. But our today's period is all about lactobacillus. So when we observe glass slide which is prepared from a drop of fresh buttermilk, and then we have to stain it with methylene blue. What we have seen when observed under compound microscope, we have seen that lactobacilli are blue color, rod shaped, rectangular and minute. Their function is that it converts lactose sugar into lactic acid. That's why there occur fermentation and coagulation of milk proteins. In this way, we have studied about lactobacillus. Any difficulties? You can ask, because as we proceed in this chapter, there are another some microorganisms. So to avoid confusion, if there are any difficulties, you can ask. Okay? In your book, there is given diagram of lactobacilli. Okay, lactobacilli are somewhat like this, rod shape. Okay, so here is all about lactobacilli. Lesson plan is given, and homework on this topic is given in description box. If any